Welcome back to Meaty Mayhem. I'm Ostrich Fox, and Curse of the Blood Moon was not what I expected. The episode was not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I did walk away feeling a little bit underwhelmed and a little bit sad. One thing this episode did excel at was its emotional beats. Every moment where you were supposed to feel sad or happy for a character, you did. So of course we're gonna run through this episode, all of its little hitting Easter eggs, references, and much more that you may have missed. Of course, spoiler warning, if you have not seen this episode, go watch it, then come back. Ready, set, go. Much like how Blood Moon Ball was the 8th episode of Season 1, this episode is the 8th episode of Season 4. Just another thing that brings this season full circle. The episode opens up with Star and Marco sneaking to what appears to become their usual spot for a late night snack. The snack being Captain Blanche's Sugar Seed cereal. Their favorite cereal that's made appearances in Crystal Clear, Marco and the King, and Toffee. In Crystal Clear, Star actually tried to sneak a bowl in the middle of the night while Marco was sleeping, but was crystallized by Romulus before she could even enjoy a spoonful. Beyond that callback, the latter two appearances of the cereal saw Marco attempt to reach Star after departing from Earth suddenly, with the delicacy in hand, acting as sort of a gift. It's clear the cereal does hold weight between the two characters. It's not just cereal, it's their cereal. If Star ate it with Tom, or if Marco ate it with Kelly, it wouldn't feel the same. It probably wouldn't even taste the same. The setting of their location is also very interesting, and paints this interaction with romantic undertones, as if Star and Marco are having a candlelit dinner for two. Sure, it's just another source of light they needed to see, but the composition of everything evokes that whimsical feeling of perfect young love. The marshmallow Star leaves behind could be representative of her and Marco, two completely different shapes. The last two shapes you would even expect to be together, being paired and actually complementing each other. Yellow and blue are complementary colors. Also notice Star's words. Now they have each other. The Starco vibes are in full force, people. Marco consults Eclipsa on this very conflicting, very stressful situation, which reveals they've actually been discussing this issue frequently for quite some time. This is a great evolution of Marco and Eclipsa's relationship. Marco initially is very untrusting of Eclipsa and her intentions, and now he's completely putting his faith in her, confiding what must be his deepest confidential secret to her. Now Marco questions if there's a spell to eliminate his feelings, to which Eclipsa states she doesn't have such a spell. But that doesn't mean that a form of that spell does not exist at all. The Book of Spells has Regis Solum Lacrimae from Crescenta's chapter, which removes any feeling of loneliness from the user. Loneliness is often a feeling that can accompany romantic feelings and spike that need for a significant other. So while it may not perfectly do the trick, perhaps that spell will come into play at some point. After all, Eclipsa wants the book restored, and Marco has been shown to not only wield the wand, but somewhat has a grip on performing spells. Jana jokingly refers to Marco as Mackie Hand, the parody of Jackie Chan that Marco idolizes and was animated back to life in Frenemies. This conversation also reveals Marco has disdain for nachos, thanks to previous off-screen hypnotism by Jana, which, as a result, has helped Marco look a lot better. Nachos used to be a staple associated with Marco for quite a while, as he introduced his famous recipe for nachos very early on, which many fans have adopted and made their own spin on it. This change can arguably be grouped in with the rest of the evolution and departure from the beginning of the series a lot of the characters have gone through, Marco included. When we grow up, what used to be our favorite food can become less than desirable. I used to love candy corn, and now I haven't been able to touch the stuff in years. Maybe I was hypnotized by Jana. Tom's outfit in this episode may be a nod to his voice actor, Ryder Strong's character in the series Boy Meets World, Sean Hunter, who rocked a leather jacket, similar to Tom's in various episodes of the series. Or the jacket just looks cool on Tom. Either or, Marco and Star talking in unison explain the significance of the leftover cereal marshmallows is the second time the two have done this in the series, as an assumable consequence of the Blood Moon's binding. The first time was at the end of Blood Moon Ball itself, after making light of the aforementioned event. This leans into the whole idea that their souls are bonded, which Marco directly stated in Deep Dive. Tom explains that the Blood Moon itself is a curse, though Marco and Star are surprised by this information, though you think they would have picked up on it, as Marco kept seeing the Blood Moon in romantic situations. At the very least, he should have pieced two and two together. Yet, that's not even mentioned in this episode, which I believe is for a reason. On that note, Marco's dialogue on how we can't believe all of this is because of a curse should clue the audience in that it probably isn't due to a curse. This episode actually does a lot of work to hammer in the fact that the Blood Moon curse isn't some grand force causing the feelings between Star and Marco without outright saying it. Did it have some influence? Of course, but it's not the determining factor. Tom confirms that the blood moon only happens once every 667 years, remarking that the next one is in 665, confirming to us that it's been 2 years in the show since the events of that episode and season 1 as a whole. Though considering we've had Star's birthday in Stump Day and Marco's birthday in Lava Lake Beach, would that make them 16 instead of 15? Are we missing birthdays? Is Star old enough to drive on Muni? When are we getting a car episode? Relicore introduces everyone to the Severing Stone, but remarks Tom has tuned both Star and Marco. In hindsight, this was due to the revelation later on that Relicore was unable to reclaim the memory of the moment he fell in love with Tom's grandmother. Another hint that Starco may not be over. Because regardless of how they feel in the moment towards the blood moon curse, Star and Marco may still want to retain that memory of falling in love with each other. A memory that, as far as we're concerned, they will never be able to reclaim. Because it's still a piece of their history. It's still a piece of themselves. It can't just be hidden from them forever. Here's a fun Easter egg. Tom calling Relicore his
grandpapa
may be a reference to the Bridge of the Series theme song. The arrival of Relicore's elevator to the depths of the underworld is a nod to the same elevator in Blood Moon Ball, Mr. Candle Cares, and Frenemies. Marco even takes a jab questioning how practical this elevator can really be due to the constant damage it causes. Which finally, someone said it. The Severing Stone seems to be encrypted and communicated with in a different language, one that Tom doesn't know how to speak. But let's hope someone either decodes this language or an alphabet of some sort is released in the near future. The Severing Stone sends Star and Marco back to the night of the Blood Moon Ball, where they don their exact same outfits. And everyone who was present in that episode is present here, aside from Tom himself. This entire concept is very similar to how Star entering her wand brought her into her own memories. During Star and Marco's reenactment of the Blood Moon dance, if you're getting a strong sense of deja vu, that's because it calls back to the original episode in more ways than one, as your dance is completely identical until they get to the point where Tom would have originally pushed Marco out of the way. This leads us to yet another clue that their feelings have nothing to do with the Blood Moon curse. Star remarking that this feels new, how entranced she is by their dance moves, how they never once faltered, felt weird, or let go just because they reenacted the dance up until its original point. It not only felt right to them, it felt like an entirely new experience neither of them have felt in past relationships. As Star and Marco confide in each other that they both like this, the idea of their romantic feelings, their dance, their relationship evolving beyond friendship, Star questions what if it was never the blood moon, crying from her left eye. This actually has greater significance than dramatic effect. There's been widespread myths that crying solely from your right eye indicates happiness, while crying from only your left eye indicates pain. Star absolutely is in great pain here, as her tears in question correlates to the glass moon-shaped window of the ceiling shattering and fizzling out. With that, their souls are severed. Star and Marco have no recollection of confessing their mutual feelings to one another. They have no recollection on questioning if their feelings wasn't anyone or anything's doing but their own selves. It's a memory far removed from both of them now. At least, that's what the narrative wants us to believe. Tom remarking that he's felt guilt over the Blood Moon curse is very telling, in the best way possible. This means when he wasn't with Star and was hopelessly chasing after her, he felt bad that she would be forced to be with anyone that wasn't of her own choice. That in a different scenario where he and Star did end up under the Blood Moon light, he would have felt guilt that their relationship wasn't genuine. He didn't say he felt bad for himself, he felt bad for her and Marco, indirectly causing two people to have feelings for each other because of his own manipulation. And Star even says he should have felt bad. But everything's behind them now, and everything's going to be okay, beyond this relationship drama. Even if Tom and Star break up, even if Star and Marco get together, things are going to be okay between all of them. Tom has definitely matured to a significant point, even acknowledging that Star has feelings for Marco in this episode. And hopefully this isn't just Star repressing feelings and acting like everything's okay, even though that's likely what's going on. I hope she actually continues to learn and develop, maturing to a point where she can properly address situations and handle them without turning it around on anyone else or downplaying the gravity of the situation. Janna also now possesses two halves of the same soul, which may be a throwaway line now, but I wonder if that means Meteora or even Globgor will end up stealing souls once more, and that Janna will have a fake out death of sorts, where she reveals she only had one half of her soul stolen. I guess we'll see. But obviously the biggest open-ended question from this episode is, are Star and Marco faking the removal of their feelings? Again, I say yes. They're just pretending that because the Blood Moon Curse is gone, that they're fine. There's no more feelings whatsoever. But that couldn't be further from the truth. However, we will be discussing the future of Starco very soon, so be sure to be subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss that video. However, what did you guys think of this half-hour episode? Did you enjoy it? Did it break your heart? What emotions were you feeling? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for my own thoughts, you can find me at OstricVox. We're also on Instagram. Help the Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. OstricVox out.